Hey y'all, Eureka here with another unboxing video. This is the Terra Oracle, which was a Kickstarter deck. I absolutely would have backed it myself if I'd come across it, but the creators had actually reached out to me to showcase it to me and were kind enough to send me a copy once the Kickstarter was backed. So I had a lot of fun promoting it because it is right up my alley and I am super excited to have my hands on it. So these are all the little things that came in the box, just kind of as they were. We've got this little piece of paper which looks like maybe like a little white book type of thing, because it's got, you know, like the Oracle deck is a lot of animals, you know, earthly animals, hence Terra. So I'm assuming that this is kind of like a mini little white book, because this looks like a book as well. And then we've got what appears to be maybe a sticker. Super beautiful. I like hate to unfold this because it's so beautiful and I'm never gonna be able to get it back into this like nice little format, but maybe I can watch this video in reverse and figure out how to put it back together. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, okay, so it's kind of like a neat take on the little white book, because it says, "We know it's a big wide world, here's a bird's eye view." So I guess like more like shorter keywords to guide. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff. I'm going to set this aside and revisit in a second. I wonder if maybe I can do it. Oh my gosh. That was so easy. Since it's already folded. Oh yay, because I love how cute that looks like that. Cool. All right, I'm going to set that stuff aside. And then this, I'm assuming, is the deck, obviously. And we've got a little thank you. We hope you love your order as much as we loved making it. Your support is what made the magic of Terra possible. With lots of gratitude, Lindsay and Lucas. So, cute little thank you card, which is super nice. I'm gonna open this in a second, but let's go ahead and start with the deck. Beautiful. So here is that deck. Looks like it's in a little tuck box. Terra is a project by Louisville creatives Lucas Keown, I'm gonna butcher that, and Lindsay Cummins. The Terra Oracle consists of 100 animals that allow you to reflect upon yourself and uncover truths about your character. ThirdAgeMarket.com. Cool, so I'm gonna just rest that here for a moment. There's my blinds reflecting on the plastic, it's fine. So obviously we'll open that and get to the flip through, but I would like to just take a quick peek at the book now while we're opening everything. Feels like soft cover, which is fine because then I'm not as scared about breaking the binding as I usually am with like a hardcover book. So beautiful. Sorry that this is such a close-up. Awesome. Terra Oracle deck. That's the size, just to give you some scale. Cool, looks like the back is just the same stuff that's on the back of the deck. And we'll take a flip through this once we've gotten a look at the card. So I'm gonna cut this plastic off and we're just gonna get straight through it because we've got a whole 100 cards to get through. All right, so let's get to it. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get a wrap for this because I'm just not a big fan of tuck boxes, because I use my decks so much that they inevitably fall apart even if they're pretty decent quality. Yeah, I love the earthy tones of this back. Nice little rounded edges. I would say maybe like standard tarot card size, more or less, which I appreciate. I don't mind a big deck once in a while. One of my favorite decks is like 4 inches by 6 inches, so it's huge. But I like that the trend of big or like big Oracle deck cardstock seems to be dying back down. Feels pretty good quality, not super stiff, obviously not like super shiny. There's a little bit of a shine, so like, you know, a soft matte, which is cool. I really like this. Looks almost like an eye, but then it's got that totally brain farting on the word, but like, you know how maps of the earth, some of them show like the different levels of how like high the terrain is. That's kind of what that reminds me of, and I really like that. So let's go ahead and get through it. I'm so excited. Got the Aardvark, Resourcefulness. So beautiful. Right, because we're starting with Aardvark, I'm assuming this is probably in alphabetical order, which is good. The Albatross, Discovery. The albatross always makes me think of that one poem story thing, you know, water, water everywhere, and how the boards did shrink, water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. Always makes me think of that story, which of course I can't remember the name of, but I love that. All right, the Barn Owl, Wisdom. I like that it's specifically a barn owl. I really like that. Cool. It's a little more everyday, I guess. The Bat, God, I love this one. Intuition. This is one of the ones that I had seen when I first got reached out to about the deck, and immediately was like, yep, this is my style. This is right up my alley. I love it. There's so much detail in the animals themselves, but everything else is nice and minimal. The Bangle, Vitality. I do really appreciate when animal-based decks are a little bit more specific about the naming of the animals. You know, like there's so many species of snake, for example, but decks will just call them like one snake instead of being a little more specific. So I appreciate, like, it's not just a tiger, it's a Bengal tiger. I really, really like that. The Black Swan, Love. So highly detailed. The Blowfly, Observation. Yeah, I really, really do appreciate the specificity about these animals and just that detail, the shadowing under. So gorgeous. Let's see, the Blue Whale, Inspiration. I also really like that the keyword is on the deck, but it's not super, super in your face. Let's see, the Bull, Dedication. Man, that movement in this card. The artistry here is super top-notch. It's incredible line work. The Camel, Passage. I love that. This reminds me of the Three of Wands in the Smith-Waite deck. I'm gonna try not to talk too much about each one of these, even though I want to, just because there's so many cards. The Caterpillar, Anticipation. I love that. And it's like just starting to make its cocoon. Awesome. The Chameleon, Adaptability. The Cicadas, Rhythm. I grew up in an area with a lot of cicadas, and I remember in elementary school every like 7 years or so just being so warmed by them. I love it. They do make a beautiful sound. The Coyote, Grit. Makes me think of like an old Western. I love it. I like that there's like a bench here. I feel like that's the first like major introduction of like a human element. Let's see, the Crocodile, Repression. Ooh. God, these are so stunning. The Crow, Manifestation. Like these are so simple objectively, I guess, but there's so much emotion conveyed in them, and I love that. The Dragonfly, Gratitude. I watch too much Brooklyn Nine-Nine because I want to be like grat-a-tat-tat-tatitude. The elephant, kindred. I love that. Like, God, the detail. Just those strokes. The emperor, loyalty. So precious. The falcon, success. The fennec fox, cunning. What a cutie. The fire ant, collaboration. The firefly, illumination. I always love when bugs are included as well because they are just as much a part of the ecosystem as like animals. The flamingo, composure. I love that. That's such a good keyword for that. The garden snail, isolation. What a cutie. I love snails. I think they're adorable. The gazelle, momentum. No feet touching the ground. The giraffe, growth. The great white, power. I love that. The grizzly, solitude. Yeah, I really love that, the grizzly instead of just the bear. The hare, abundance, of course. The harpy, freedom. There's like so much detail in these lines, I feel like I can't capture it as well as it looks in person. The hawk, messages. Oh, what a cutie. The hedgehog, curiosity. The hermit, sanctuary. The hippo, conflict. The hive, harmony. It's like some little bees there. The hound, pursuit. What a little cutie. The howler, communication. Again, like, could have just gone with the monkey, but no, this is a howler monkey specifically, and I freaking love that. The hummingbird, joy. The hyena, opportunity. I really like that association. I only ever read this word. I don't know. The ibex, the ibex. I don't know. Sorry. Authority. The king cobra, spontaneity. See, this is what I mean. Somehow I knew that there was going to be like a named specific snake in this deck, because that's one thing that I feel like every animal deck has like a snake, but it's just a snake. But no, this is a king cobra, and I love that. Sorry, I'll stop gushing. Probably not, actually. The koi instead of just a fish. Fortune, I love that. I love koi fish. The komodo, trust. Interesting. The kookaburra, partnership. It's a great pairing. The ladybug, clarity. I like that its wings are opening. The lamb, innocence. Why do I feel like lambs are always so innocently sitting down like this in pictures? The lion, bravery. I freaking love that this is a female lion. I feel like male lions are always depicted because their manes are so big, but like the women do the work. They're the ones who go get the food. Without them, the man like doesn't eat as much. So I freaking love that. They're the ones who have to be brave and actually go out hunting and expend their energy to get food. The locust, caution. You know, I learned recently that apparently locusts are basically just grasshoppers that there are too many of in one place. How crazy is that? As if I wasn't like afraid enough of grasshoppers because they terrify me. The macaw, identity. Yes, I love that the macaw is in here. Brazil, Amazons, represent. The manatee, compassion. Oh. All right, we're about halfway through the alphabet, more or less. The meerkat, altruism. Oh, interesting. My dad loved watching Meerkat Manor back when that was a thing. He's a nerd, if you were wondering where I get that from. The monarch, change. Ooh, the moon jelly, simplicity. I love that. I didn't even know there was a moon jellyfish, but I'm gonna look it up after this. The moose, independence. The moray, surprise. Yep, hiding in their little hidey holes under the sea. I like that. The mule, endings. I like that. I think I have a guess as to why that association was put together, but I'm gonna bite my tongue on it until I can look at the book. If it is why I think it is, I really like it. The narwhal, depth. Oh, I love that. I especially love how many people don't realize narwhals are not like a fictional thing like unicorns. I love that. Okay. The newt, loss. Oh, I'm sad now. The octopus, conformity. Interesting. I am very curious about the thinking behind that keyword pairing, because that's not what would come to mind for me immediately. The possum, surrender. I love possums. They're so cute. There's a possum living under my house and I'm fine with that. The Orb-Weaver, imagination. Funny story about orb-weavers. There's a huge one in my backyard and I went to take out my trash one day and its web was so perfect that I didn't see it and I walked smack dab into it and it covered my face and my hair and I was terrified because I love spiders, but I don't want their webs all over my body. So I had to coax it over to a side of the garden and now it just lives like off on the side behind my shed and that's fine. Where I won't walk through its web anymore. Ugh, I still shiver about it. Anyway, this isn't about me. This is about the deck. And the ostrich, impulsivity. Sorry, I like how I said I wasn't going to talk a lot, and now I am, because, you know, Gemini, it's fine. The otter, revelry. The pack, tribe. Okay. This is something that I only learned or like realized relatively recently, so it's hard for me to be too judgmental about it. But tribe is like a word that historically has been used so like negatively and specifically in association with indigenous peoples that I used to be like Terra tribe, but like I don't use the word tribe to describe myself or my people anymore. Like the pack, I think, is a good word for that. There are just certain connotations to tribe, and there are enough indigenous voices asking us not to use that I would like to respect that, but it's not as widespread in the community as other bits of knowledge about like appropriation, so I can understand if people have not heard of it yet. So this is me educating you. It's not like I'm gonna not use the whole deck because of it, but it's nice, you know, it's just a tiny little thing. I could white it out if I really, really wanted to. The panda piece. Oh, cutie. Little bamboo baby. The peacock, confidence. Hell yeah, they're confident. I saw some in real life, real up close, doing mating calls, and whoa mama, are they loud. The pelican, limitation. Interesting. Very curious about that choice as well. The pig, indulgence. I can see that for sure. Oh my god, yes, the platypus, individuality. Yep, the platypus is definitely unique AF. The poison frog, upheaval. The praying mantis, mindfulness. I actually have a bunch of praying mantises in my backyard. Not like the big green ones, but there's these like littler brownish ones. And I had no idea that they even lived in this area, but there's a bunch in my yard. The raccoon and ingenuity. I also think raccoons are adorable. The rhino, fear. Interesting. The roadrunner, productivity. Why do I feel like this card is going to wind up coming up a bunch for me? The rooster, security. The salmon, discomfort. I like that. That makes sense to me. See, the scarab, creativity. Totally. I love how many bugs are in this. The scorpion, passion. This one is ready to fight. The sea turtle, direction. Yeah, that feels really intuitive to me too. The seahorse, duty. I love that. The shrew, excess. The Siamese, mystery. Oh my gosh, again, so happy that it's not just the cat. I love that. I mean, they could have used a house cat and called it house cat, but that's still more specific than just the cat or the snake. I love it. The silk moth, conviction. Interesting. The squirrel, preparation. Totally. The stink bug, resistance. Stingray, balance. The tardigrade, resiliency. Oof, so true. I think these are also called like water bears or something. If you're not familiar, these things are like this is obviously not life size. They are super, super tiny. And if you shoot them into space, they will survive. So yeah, resilient for sure. The Tasmanian Devil, Judgment. Interesting. The Three-Toed Sloth, Recuperation. So cute. The Toad, Greed. He does look greedy. What's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. Toucan, Talent. Yes, Toucan. The Vulture, Adversity. Getting towards the end here, just based on the alphabet. The Wallaby, Leadership. The Walrus, Vulnerability. Interesting. Looks like its tusks are maybe kind of short. Let's see, the Wasp, Affliction. The Weasel, Flexibility. The Woodpecker, Initiative. The Wood Mouse, Focus. The Yak, Strain. And this is the last card. I like these. I really, really like them. I think I've made that pretty clear. So let's see how they move against each other. There's a lot of them, so fortunately the card stock isn't like super thick. Yeah, so it's not like a super huge unmanageable handful. Yeah, with that soft mat, they do slide against each other pretty easily. I would probably be having an easier time if there was not my phone in between me and the cards. But yeah, so that, I like that movement. I will do a couple riffle shuffles maybe. Yeah, okay, so for a 100 card deck, not too difficult to do a casino style shuffle with. Cool. So I'm gonna do some more of this off screen. Really want to get them mixed up, and there's a bunch of them, so I will come back. I will pull a card to represent my initial relationship with the deck. We'll take a look at the book, and then there's a couple of the cards that even if I don't draw them, I think it might be interesting to take a little peek at. So I'll be back. All right. Ooh, I love how those glide out. So easy. Moose, Independence. All right. See, table of contents forward, table of contents, elements, ecosystem, tips and tricks, and then it looks like all of the animals, index, and acknowledgement. It's cool. Looks like each of the animals has like 2 pages, so that's awesome. Moose is on page 118. And so we've got the image on one side and then large and in charge. The moose is an enormous towering creature and is the largest member of the deer family. This giant can weigh over 1,000 pounds, and despite being the biggest land animal in North America, it is surprisingly laid back. The moose is calm and collected. Do you, like the moose, reign over your life and goals? Are you looming large and in charge of your life? This guide encourages you to value your independence. This means owning where you are now and not allowing others to control and dictate your journey forward. Independence can be both liberating and overwhelming. Are you comfortable relying on yourself? How can you be your own cheerleader? Over your head. We often become desensitized to the many crutches that support us. Over time, we no longer see them and we don't realize we are leaning on them. The moose can't be too comfortable with its antlers because every year they fall out. The moose isn't upset because their antlers are both a blessing and a curse. While they act as a defense mechanism, they are also heavy and bulky to carry around on top of their head. Be careful that you don't use your independence as a defense mechanism to keep away others who want to come close. A strong foundation is made of both a base and support beams. The moose is a warning that you could be stubbornly autonomous, refusing help when it is offered to you. It may be time to shed your antlers and let others in. Alternatively, if you're using your antlers to prop others up, reflect on how heavy it is and how much it could be weighing you down. Refusing to bow. The moose's towering stature and massive weight isn't just for appearances. Hovering tall, this animal can reach into the trees to find food. They're so adjusted to reaching up high that they can have difficulty lowering their head down to grass on the ground. Like the moose, don't bow down. Raise your head high and acknowledge your independence. If you've been doubting yourself and your ability to tackle upcoming problems, the moose is a message that you can do it. Work to eliminate uncertainty. Stand up and show up for yourself. Be accountable for your own actions, decisions, thoughts, and mindset. The moose comes when you need a reminder to continue to retain value and be proud of your independence. Ecosystem. The grizzly. While it's important to be independent, this occasional predator warns not to take independence too far. There's a difference between being capable of autonomy and being immovable and obstinate. Do not bury down too deeply into a state of solitude. Interact with those around you and accept an outstretched hand. True independence is knowing that you can do it yourself, but that you don't have to, that you don't need to prove yourself to others. And then we've got a little quote. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings. Only ring your celly when I'm feeling lonely. When it's all over, please get up and leave. Destiny's Child, Independent Women, Part 1. I love that that's a Destiny's Child lyric. I also really like this ecosystem section where it like connects to another animal. I think that's really great. It's a really detailed guidebook. Yeah, it's just like the one page of text, but it's really tiny, and obviously there's a lot of information in there. The one other one that I was really curious to take a look at was the mule endings. So if you don't mind sticking with me for a second, we're gonna look at that before I move on. Of course, you can just stop watching whenever you want, but I was curious about this one. So let's see, end of the line. The mule is an end in itself, the product of mating a donkey and a horse. This animal can be produced but cannot produce. Yes, that is exactly why I thought it was the ending, because mules are infertile, sterile, whatever. I love that, and I like that I got that. Okay, it represents the end of the line. The mule's appearance in your reading is an indication of an aspect of your life is coming to a close. One chapter is ending and you are moving on to the next. Is this a time of fulfillment or sentiment? Whether the finale is anticipated or dreaded, you're being asked to make the most of it. Think about where you come from and acknowledge what you've managed to trek. Try to keep yourself from holding on tightly. A suffocating grip will only wear you out, and in your fatigue, you will miss the point. It serves you. Though endings can feel like a terrible curse, they have the potential to act as a tremendous gift, especially with time. Knowledge of the finite is what drives us to live in the moment. The mule is valued around the world for its hard-working and tenacious nature. It has, for centuries, been a reliable working animal, helping serve humans and their endeavors. Let endings serve you. Let them be opportunities instead of misfortunes. This doesn't mean it has to be fun. Endings are painful. You owe it to yourself to sit with your emotions. But the most painful parts of life can be the richest, filled with invaluable meaning and wisdom. No matter how you feel, when the page turns, reflect on what you just read. I freaking love that. I'm gonna cry. Grand finale. When a horse and a donkey come together, they create something that, in many ways, exceeds themselves. The mule is not just a work animal. This animal responds faster than its parents and can keep going when they tire out. This guide suggests that if you are apprehensive of upcoming endings and beginnings, step back and express gratitude. The mule appreciates the moment when the lights go down and the curtain closes. To grieve an end is to express gratitude for what is worth that grief. The place you started from and the place you're going won't be the same, but with a healthy perspective, it can be a new kind of wonderful and perhaps even better. Endings aren't an unfortunate accident. They are an integral part of everything. The ecosystem. The coyote. Working through endings takes grit and determination. Whether you're tying on a bow on a project or walking away from pain, make it to the finishing line is no small feat. This predator reminds you to roll with the punches and make it to the next part of your story. There's much yet to be written. The grizzly. This predator warns of the silence that comes when the music stops. Careful that difficult endings don't find you slipping into the solitude of your cave to hibernate. Whether you're celebrating success or grieving an ending, surround yourself with your tribe. There's that tri-word, but still, like, the rest of this is so beautiful. And then Shel Silverstein, there are no happy endings. Endings are the saddest part, so give me a happy middle and a very happy start. I love that. I freaking love the thoughtfulness in this deck. I am in awe. Like, I knew the art was going to be amazing because I'd obviously, like, seen previews to their Instagram and the Kickstarter, but that book is just, like, fan-freaking-tastic. There's so much, like, thought, like, guiding questions, like, uplifting sentiment. I freaking love it. I do want to take a quick peek again, now that we've gone through the deck, at this a little bit, which, of course, is in alphabetical order as well, just like the book and the deck, to make things easier to find. Just want to see what it has to say about that moose that I pulled. Okay, the moose. Independence. Control, liberation, support, crutches, foundations, autonomy, being capable. Cool, yeah, so just like, and I like that, like, not only is the way that they folded it beautiful, but I feel like this would probably pretty easily fit in the deck with the box if you wanted to carry it around and have this little guide, but not necessarily have room for the whole book in there. So that is the Terra Oracle. I guess it's a limited edition. I didn't even see that. I freaking love it. I'm about to do my first draw for my Tarot for Growth February challenge, which I'll link to in the description, as well as a link to where you can buy this deck in case you're curious. And I'm totally gonna use this deck for, like, this draw. I'm definitely gonna incorporate it because I'm so happy that this deck has come into my life. It is so super thoughtful, and I think I'm gonna get a lot out of the guidebook. But at the same time, these cards, like the image as well as like the little keyword, are so intuitive that I don't feel like I need the book in order to get meaning out of it in a reading. So yay, love it, love it, love it. I hope you guys liked it too. I have a couple more unboxings on the way. I have Tarot Mood, and I finally am going to be putting out my Modern Witch unboxing. Both of those I have to refilm because the lighting was so terrible, because I was just so excited to open them. I did it at night and it did not do those decks justice, so those will be coming out soon. I'm sure I'll be getting more boxes and other things, and yeah, basically that's it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Love you, mean it.